Crypto Cliff. I got Crypto Cliff in the building. Man, it's October. We said we was going on tour in October. It's October. What that mean?
We're doing it. We're going on tour. We got 2 more weeks, right?
Yeah, man.
We're gonna be in Dallas.
In Dallas.
Another month, almost a month exact to the date. We'll be in Baltimore.
Baltimore.
I actually had a brother hit me up earlier talking about setting up Chicago.
The Chi
time. Yeah, New York. We're in New York right now as we speak. Playing New York right now as we speak. We got started. We actually playing it right now as we speak. In Mississippi.
You know, side note, you know what the blessing is right now. I know your kids are on fall break. I just making a whole bunch of noise in the background. That's a good thing. You know, when they ain't got to be quiet because we at work. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Well, actually, right now that's my house cleaners. They actually cleaned up my downstairs guest room.
Okay, well,
I got my window down, and but yeah, I have my kids at the house right now. They're on fall break right now, so while they're making noise and house cleaners are making noise with all the vacuuming and all that other stuff, I'm actually sitting on the front porch enjoying this beautiful Georgia weather.
Yeah, and you know that's it's funny when you buy all your time back, and you know what financial freedom is really about. A lot of people think it's about having a job and earning a lot, but you're trading time for money. And today we wanted to talk about shifting the mindset of an investor, and then just really getting your mindset right to deal with money in the new rules. We want to talk about the mindset shift. And when did you undergo the mindset? What was it that clicked for you?
Well, to be honest, the best teacher is experience, and you have no greater experience than actually lose money in this game. So I got to the point to where I lost a significant amount of money. Yeah. And I had to get that look from my wife, that side-eye look from my wife, like, hey, this ain't gonna be too much more of that. Right. You know what I mean? So I had to reevaluate and really look deeply into myself and say, what am I doing wrong? And what I was doing wrong, excuse my background.
Oh, that's all right, man. I'm good with it. This, like I said, we're in the middle of the day, man. Yeah. It's I still say it's a blessing to be able to sit at home with your housekeepers, whatever you call them, maids, domestic servants, whatever they call them nowadays. The politically correct name.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it took me actually losing money for me to be able to actually start seeing that I was looking at money the wrong way and having a mindset of the wrong type of investor. There's a reason why 92% of investors actually lose money.
Is it that high? I mean?
It's that high. There's a reason why only 8% of investors, and I'm talking about retail investors, meaning the everyday person, versus institutional investors, like somebody like Warren Buffett, or someone on a higher level, a higher echelon, like the rich dad, poor dad dude. Those are institutional investors, meaning they can invest at a mass level so high that we can't even get to that tax bracket. Most people can't even get to that tax bracket.
Gotcha.
To even invest. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, Rich Dad Poor Dad says in his book that one of the lessons he actually learned from his rich dad was he didn't have enough money to actually invest on this level. He said he went to his rich dad and was asking him, like, how can I invest in what you invest in? And he was like, you can't. And he asked him, well, why can't I invest in exactly what you're investing in if you're making this X amount of money doing these things? And he told him, simply because you don't have enough income. You don't have enough wealth.
Yeah.
You have to have at least 10 million in the bank to even be considered to invest in the type of level, a type of higher echelon investments that I'm investing in. Which shows you the class caps. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't really realize that.
Let's talk about class.
Oh yeah, definitely. You have certain class levels that you can actually invest in. See, the average person, and this you can go and you can Google this. The average person makes only between 39,000 and about 46,000. That's most people.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And that's honestly, if you really want to look at class and how the inflation rate is right now, that's low class. So that means the average person is literally living paycheck to paycheck.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So you go up to the middle, I guess higher upper class, not higher upper class, but higher lower class would be in the 65 to 70 to $80,000 range. 80,000 to 100,000, 120,000 would be regular middle class. Then you go into upper middle class, which is anything over 200K.
Gotcha.
But most people sit on that lower level. It's sitting at level between I'm actually barely surviving, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, or I'm even living below paycheck, meaning that you don't even have enough money at the end of the day to actually pay your bills every month.
Right.
So with that being said, are you talking about 77% of people live paycheck to paycheck? Another 10% of people on top of that live below paycheck to paycheck. So you're talking about 87% of the United States, people in the United States are actually living, basically surviving, not really living.
Yeah, hoping. Like I'm around people who go paycheck to paycheck, and that's why the payday loan industry is so big. The buy here, pay here, car industry is so big, and a lot of people. There's a radio series called "One Catastrophe Away." They're one thing away. The transmission go out. Air conditioning go out. Kids need some tuition. They're one decision to make of making a drastic financial decision that'll put them in a bad position. And that's got to be a horrible feeling to work 40 or 50 hours and still not be able to get it.
But think about the mentality you have to have that survival mentality in the first place.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a survival tactic for you to actually put two and two together and put different ends together and say, I'm going to slack off from paying this bill to actually pay this bill this month. That's a whole entire survival tactic. It's really honestly blissful insanity. Just think about that. That's insanity.
Yeah. And the ironic part is it's celebrated. It's celebrated a lot in our communities, and it's a setup for a big testimony for someone trying to get a financial breakthrough without even doing anything. They just kind of hope it just come out the sky or something like that.
Oh yeah, and the one thing I've learned through my 36 years, and I know I'm still young, very young, and I've done a lot in my lifetime to be so young. But the one thing I learned is nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. Even the Bible speaks on faith, but it also says faith without works is what?
Dead in the MF.
Meaning you have to put that work in to actually bring in that faith.
To activate it.
But most people sit down and wait and hope and wish and wait and hope and wish and play the lotto and do scratch off tickets and wait and hope and wish and what we call back home in Florida, it's not a gang thing. I know they say this in different gangs, but we call back home in Florida crabbing, meaning you're always trying to snatch something away from somebody.
Yeah,
most people do that. Yeah, most people do that.
Yeah.
They don't really sit down and say, okay, I can actually do this. I can actually do these simple things. I learned this simple tool to actually make more income come into my life. Because honestly, that's the basic solution to your problem is to actually have more income coming into your life.
Yeah. You just said something, man. My dad is a religious lotto player. He plays the lottery every week. And he's done that since we've been in Texas, which is since the 80s. Just imagine if he'd have took that $5 or $10 a week that he spends on lottery. He's 80 right now. So just imagine he just started doing that when he was 40. He would have really hit the lottery.
Oh yeah. Just think about it. My mom does it. I hope she sees this video. My mom does it. My mom would literally go and spend hundreds of dollars on lotto tickets and go to casinos. Yeah, she's big on casinos. She go to casino probably maybe one time a month.
Excuse me. Pensacola, or she go down to Pascagoula, or did she go to New Orleans?
She goes to Biloxi a lot. Biloxi. The number one spot is Biloxi, either Biloxi or a spot off of 65, right there, right outside of Atmore, going towards Mobile. I forgot the name of that little town, but they have a Wind Creek casino there. She'll go there, but she'll tell me, okay, I went out here and go once a month. Then every about 4 or 5 months, I hit big. I hit $1,000. I'm like, yeah, but you spent $5,000 going there, every month. You know what I mean? So honestly, you $4,000 behind in the hole.
Right. But and you wonder why they give you them free drinks and them free rooms and the free bus rides.
Exactly. But most people don't really realize that. Don't realize, okay, over the 10-year span of you actually playing the lotto, you paying $5 scratch off ticket. You're doing this on a daily basis. Yeah. When you finally hit that $150 or that $1,000 on that scratch off ticket, you're still in the hole because you spent $5,000-$6,000 on these scratch off tickets every year
to win $150 or
to win $150.
Yeah.
And I can understand how addictive it is because me personally, I'm not a gambling person. I'm an investor, and I know that's hard for most people to really get because I am an investor. But I don't gamble. I lose $20 at the casino, I'm ready to go home. That's how I am. But I did do a scratch off before when I was younger, and I actually won $150, and I felt like I was the happiest person in the world. So I actually sit back and thought, I was like, okay, I spent $300 to win $150.
Yeah, you figured that out early.
Yeah, people don't really sit down and really think about the things they're actually doing. Once you
Gotcha.
sit down and sit yourself down and have a nice conversation with yourself, say, look here, I actually have a problem. I'm actually spending money to think and thinking I'm making money, but really I'm just throwing money down a endless hole, a
Yeah.
black hole.
Look, man, I tell you when I started really understanding how money worked is when the first time I made a piece of money and I had a I guess a platinum American Express and it broke down what my spending was. And that was the first time I was probably 35, 36, 37 years old. It was the first time I seen a breakdown of my spending. And I realized I was spending close to $1,000 a month at coffee shops, like at Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? Because I would go in the morning and I always take one of my homies with me. You know what I'm saying? And then right before we went home, we'd stop at a different coffee shop and, kind of just chill for an hour. And I was buying that too. And so basically, I was spending roughly $30 a day,
Mm.
which is $1,000. It's like, wow, man, that's a lot of money.
For
You know what I'm
coffee.
saying? For coffee.
Yeah.
For coffee and maybe a sandwich or a cookie for calories. And knowing what I know now, $30 a day in these markets, you know, especially with your dollar cost averaging strategy, will do something for you real nice.
Oh yeah, just think about it. The average person wastes at least $200 a month on foolishness. McDonald's, like you said, coffee, um, subscriptions like Netflix. Most people don't even watch them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Hulu.
Hulu. I know. I was guilty of actually wasting money on Hulu myself. But
Yeah.
those type of things, a whole bunch of unnecessary bills that you actually cause yourself, that you can actually eliminate and actually take that same money, that $10, that 10.99, that
12.50.
McDonald's you spend what, say you spend $100 on McDonald's a month, take that $200 that most people waste in a month's time and actually put that towards something that's actually going to gain you wealth in the future.
Right.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how you could have took, you could have took $87, like I always explain about my situation with Doge. And that's
Mhm.
not even half of that $200, and turned that $87 into 200, almost $200,000.
Yeah.
Put that same $200 in Sheba. People pronounce it differently. And how you could have turned around and put that $200 in the Sheba last month in September, and actually made 300 extra returns on that $200.
Mm, mm, mm.
That's the power of cryptocurrency. Most people don't really understand how much money we really waste. And once you get and sit down and have that conversation with yourself and say, I'm actually wasting this amount of money. I'm wasting this money on Amazon, which is one of the biggest spenders of all time. Amazon is the most convenient Walmart on the planet. That's what I call a convenient Walmart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But once you sit down and have that conversation with yourself and figure out that I'm actually wasting money, I don't watch this subscription. I don't watch Netflix like that. I might only watch Netflix once or twice a month. I might only watch Hulu once or twice a month. I'm spending a lot of money on cable. I'm spending a lot of money on this and that and that. You
Yeah.
start consolidating all your debt together, and you will see where you actually have income or extra income to actually allocate to different places.
Look, I'm gonna put a graphic on the screen that we had a conversation about, and I want you to kind of speak to it. About
Okay.
if you put $1,000 into these cryptos at the start of 2021.
Which honestly, let's talk about it. This graphic right here speaks for itself. Let's say you got $200 extra a month because you canceled all these subscriptions and everything.
Right.
So basically, at the end of the year, you got what, $1,200, correct?
Gotcha.
No, $2,400.
200, yeah, $2,400.
Yeah, $2,400. Let's say you spent $1,400 at $2,400. You put $1,000 into each one of these projects at the beginning of 2021, which is only what, 10 months ago.
Yeah.
In 10 months, with Ethereum, you would have made $3,400. With XRP, you would have made $3,600.
Right.
With Uniswap, you would have made $4,000. Binance Coin, you would have made $10,000, a little over 10,000, with 10,100. With Cardano, you would have made over $11,000. Dogecoin, you made over $45,000. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With Luna, you would have made $56,000.
A
You know
lot
what
of
I'm saying?
bread.
You can, and at the end of everything with Solana, you would have made over $100,000.
And that's what people trying to get for. They go work a job for hard for 6 figures, trying to get this. That's 6 figures off of
That's
1,000.
six figures in 10 months.
Off of 1,000.
Over $1,000. Now
Right.
ask yourself, how long does it take you to make $1,000?
Right.
You know what I mean? Ask yourself how many thousands of dollars you waste on a daily basis. How many $1,000 you waste on a monthly and a weekly basis?
Gotcha.
Most people waste money.
Yeah.
So what my whole thing with mindset is, you have to start teaching yourself that you have to pay yourself first. And by me saying pay yourself first, that means pay attention to yourself. You have to sit yourself down, have a real deal conversation with yourself, and say, do I want to be in this financial situation this time next year? Or do I want to make a change as a person to actually go forward with my life and say, I am going to make a change and I'm going to be financially set? Everything starts with your mindset. Me personally, I tell myself everything I'm going to do before I even do it. You have to prophesy your future into your life. You have to
Right.
speak and breathe life into yourself. Most people don't do that. You know
You
what I mean? Most people don't do that.
Yeah, you were talking about you know, taking $1,000 and putting it in something and waiting for a year. Then you see sheep take off, and people are like, "Man, should I take it out? Should I leave it in?" And you were saying a couple of things about that. What would you do in a situation of what something just ran up 300% over the course of a week?
This is what I do with every investment I've ever done. Once my initial investment has been made in that investment, once I've doubled my money in any investment I've ever done, I take my initial investment out. I let the profits or that interest actually build more wealth for me. I then take that wealth or that initial investment. Say my initial investment is $1,000. I put $1,000 in the Bitcoin, and Bitcoin made me $2,000. I take that $1,000 out that I initially put in, and I allocate that somewhere else to make me money in another field. So now I have an extra $1,000 sitting in Bitcoin that's actually going to gain wealth for me.
Right.
And I take, for instance, for lack of conversation, I put that other $1,000 into Cardano. Now, when Cardano doubles in wealth, I take my same $1,000 out, let that $1,000 sit, and I put it into XRP. You get what I'm saying?
So
So
like the
basically,
daisy chain effect.
I'm basically flipping the same $1,000 multiple times and put it
Yeah.
into multiple projects. Now I have assets over here, over here, over here, over here, off of $1,000 initial investment.
You let the money make the money.
Let the money make the money for you.
Yeah.
Never work for money. Let money work for you.
So, we all came up in a time where we were talking about, I make this much an hour, or I need to get skills to get this much an hour. And I've heard you say, don't trade time for money. Talk about that. And how does a person go from a job to transition? Like you went from driving trucks to becoming a full-time investor. And I'm sure it wasn't an easy transition, but now that you know, how would that transition be? What does that look like?
Well, my transition was a lot more different from most people. And it's because I have a strong partner. My wife is a very, very strong woman. I drove trucks while she was in school. I drove trucks. I paid for everything. I paid for everything in my family as a man should. I made sure my family was taken care of while I drove trucks while she went through school. And I drove for 7 years. Excuse me. When I got to a position to where I was driving, when she got to a position where she actually was making significant amount of money to actually take care of our household, and actually, for us to live comfortable off her expenses alone, off her income alone, she sat me down and she said, "It's time for you to go out there and pursue your dreams. It's time for you to go out there and start investing. You want to be an investor? Let's go out here and see how this works for a couple of years. I will
Right.
hold everything down while you go out here and build us wealth." And that's how everything started with my investment, with my investment journey. I had
Gotcha.
a strong, strong woman beside me. And with that being said, it allowed me the time to sit down and figure things out. And it was a bumpy road, very,
Yeah.
very bumpy road at first.
Yeah.
I started out as a Forex trader. Forex worked well for a while, and it actually didn't work well for a while. It really wasn't my lane.
Yeah.
I got into options trading, binary options first, and I got into options trading. Option trading definitely wasn't my thing. I lost a gang of money in options trading, to be honest. But trading stocks, day trading stocks, stuck with me. And day trading, when I got into the crypto space, when I got into cryptocurrency made a lot more sense than anything else I ever got into. Um, like I said, my journey with crypto is I bought my first cryptocurrency from at $127. I had a brother who actually got into cryptocurrency when crypto was around, I want to say a couple bucks, who actually told me about Bitcoin, and was telling me about Bitcoin for a while. And I
Yeah.
didn't jump on the band then. I wish I would have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I didn't jump on the band then. I actually jumped on the band around $127, and I've been on this band ever since. And it actually put me in a position where I can actually gain wealth and actually create wealth for my children. So
Yeah.
now, not only do I have wealth,
Yeah, I'm here.
yeah, well, not only do I have wealth, me and my wife have wealth as a family. Now my children are going to benefit from the wealth I build off cryptocurrency. And
Gabe said he always loves hearing that story. Gabe, we're gonna tell that story every time we get a chance.
yeah, oh yeah, it definitely was because of my wife. She sat me down and said, "I know you don't like driving trucks. I don't like you driving trucks. I don't like you being gone all the time. I don't like
Yeah.
you being on the road. I don't. It's not safe. I want you to go out here and I want you to go and build wealth for us." She sat me down and did that.
Yeah.
It was real talk. So having the right partner, having the right people in your circle is another big mindset thing. You have to have the right people around you, and not even talking about a spouse, just people in general. If you don't
Right.
have the right people in your circle, people that's going to uplift you, people that's going to tell you when you're doing something wrong, tell you when you're doing everything right. You know what I mean? People to hold you accountable. Everything around you will crumble. If you have 5 friends and 85% of your conversations is not about how you can uplift one another and how you can build wealth together, how you can actually become better men, or better fathers, or better husbands. You need to get rid of those 5 brothers.
Right. I agree. I agree totally. Because if you look at your top 5 and you're the smartest, you got the most money, um, they're actually trying to pull themselves up to you. You're not elevating. So you have to have people around you who challenge your ways of thinking and hold you accountable for who you say you are. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
definitely. That's a big thing, man. You have to have people around you that's going to help you build you, and
Yeah.
you actually can turn around and reciprocate that back to them. My one of my biggest saying is you have to have people around that you can use. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And people think you say you actually going to use somebody, it's a bad thing. No, we have to use each other for different purposes. You know
Gotcha.
what I mean? Um, if I can't use you, me and you don't need to be around. If you can't use me, you don't need. We're not friends.
Right.
We're not partners.
Not at this level of life.
No,
We got to add value. Every relationship has to bring value.
definitely.
Um,
I got you.
in in whatever that is, and those values may shift based on where you're at in your relationship. But no, it's clear because I was making a comment about like my childhood best friend. We've been best friends since 6 7 years old, but we're in 2 different stages in our lives, and we still cool. It's just that we don't do a lot together because we're going in 2 different directions. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
man. You got to be in line with people, man. You have
Yeah.
to be in line with. And if somebody's not in line at this point of your life, maybe they can come back later on down the line. You know
Right.
what I mean? But
Right.
everybody around you has to be your network to actually help you build you to be a better person. But the key is you have to be a part of their network to help them build and be a better person as well.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by using people.
I seen a video with Snoop Dogg talking to a young rapper. Snoop is legendary, been in the game 30 years. And the young rapper who was on his way up was like, man, my homies think I'm being acting crazy, that. And he's like, no, man. He said, because you're right here and they're right here. And in order for you to be on their level, you have to come here. But what you want to see is them come here, right? Then y'all can resume your friendship. But if they're gonna stay down here and do the stuff we was doing in our 20s, we can't come back down here. They ain't got to get all the way up there, but they do have to show that they're going up.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, it's just a waste of time. And one of my favorite sayings is you can't drag a nigga up a mountain.
Oh yeah.
Everybody got to be climbing. You know,
Everybody got to climb, man. The same thing. That's what LeBron did with his boys.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He basically took. He didn't take the whole entire basketball team. They all were friends.
yeah,
He picked the ones who actually wanted to do something with themselves, who actually wanted to elevate themselves in life, and he took his money that he got from the NBA and actually paid for their education
yeah,
and made them his business partners.
and put
Now,
them in position.
yeah, put them in a position. Now you're going to make money off of me for lifetime
Yeah,
versus actually you making money. Are you trying to get a couple $100, a couple $100,000 off me right now?
yeah,
You get what I'm saying? You have those type of people around you.
yeah.
You have to. I mean, when it comes down to everything, man, you are the people who you are. You are the people who are around you.
Let me see. I've been trying to put people on with Cliff since he turned me on. I say a small percentage. Listen, everybody can't hear it. Everybody can't hear it, or they're gonna hear it in their own season. You know what I'm saying? Because how many times have you given a person some great information who, oh yeah, man, I'm cool, and they didn't act on it? And that right there is a key indicator. If they don't act on it, then you just love them from right over there, and let them keep on being who they are, and let them be great. But you can't turn around and try to win that 100-yard dash or 100-meter dash looking backwards. You got to keep
Well,
on running.
this is the thing with people as well too. Most of the time, and me, you talked about this before. When you try to give somebody something for free, they
Yeah.
don't want it anyway.
Yeah.
If
They
you
don't
know,
value.
they don't value it. If you notice, we built BMMO investors, and for the last year and a half, every bit of the content we actually put in BMMO investors has made people a great amount of wealth. We
Gotcha.
got over at least 600 brothers in the group who have at least 5 figures extra in their bank accounts right now because of the information they got from BMMO investors. So
Gotcha.
with that being said, a lot of brothers took heed to that information, but that's only 600 brothers. We even got over 20 brothers who actually became millionaires from this information. The
Right.
group has 1,600 members in it. So my thing is, if we only reach 600 members, at least 600 members, what happened to the other 1,000?
Life in the way. You know, they hadn't heard it yet. You know,
They
and
haven't
like you
heard it.
said, they'll hear it in due season. It's there. It's there.
I
The
mean,
answer's there. The answer is there. And it's ironic to me is that people hear it in their season, right? And sometimes it takes them seeing you say, hey man, I did this, and this is what happened. Oh shoot, I want to know more about that. But that's why I think we're in a better position to help more people, because now we're putting this what I call a catcher's mitt together. People can run up in here and get some of this knowledge and actually help their family.
Oh yeah, and definitely, especially with us being actually out there on the road and actually traveling to these places.
Yeah,
I look at it like a pastor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you can look at TD Jakes online right now. You can look at Joel Osteen. You can look at these pastors on TV, and you get a good feeling from them just by looking at them on TV. But it's nothing like going to church, sitting down in that pulpit and sitting down in the audience and see your pastor on the pulpit.
Right.
It's nothing like that. You know what I mean? That's somebody you can actually touch. That's somebody you can actually talk to. Somebody you can actually shake his hand.
Well, I'm gonna change my name to Pastor Troy. How about that?
Well,
Crypto Troy and Pastor Troy.
I don't know how Atlanta gonna feel about that one.
No, I'm gonna let him have that back.
Yeah, well, he ain't doing too much with it these days anyway.
But he's still a legend, though. He's an Atlanta legend.
Oh yeah. But yeah, man, I want to be the person, or we gonna be the people that you can actually walk up to and actually shake my hand. You can actually hear me speak personally. That's why we did this tour. When we put this tour together, we didn't say, okay, we're gonna sit down and plan it out. Well, of course, we planned everything out, but we ain't gonna sit down and gonna wait till next year. Which honestly, a lot of the brothers in one of my main hub groups, BMMO Enterprises, they were like, "Hey, man, let's plan this out for next year. Let's push this back and plan it." Like, nah, we finna go do this damn tour today. We're gonna do this tour in a couple months. This month, next month. You know what I mean? We're gonna go ahead and set a date. We're gonna go ahead and book the tickets, and we coming. Now, whether 100 people show up, or 500 people show up, or 10 people show up, we doing these tours.
Well, I think what's great about the tour, and we won't know this until we do it, is there's something about relationships. So Gabe made another comment, and he basically said every dollar counts, sold him. But I think it was the relationship. And once you have a relationship with someone, more people are more willing to open up about their finance, because finances are kind of private, right? And so we got the virtual relationship. Now we're going to create the relationship in person. And and it's funny, man. You know what the funny part is normally when someone comes around giving me this kind of information, they have a super vested personal interest. Well, and that's not the case, man. You just like helping people and helping your community and trying to close the wealth gap. And I don't think people really understand that part of it.
Oh yeah, man. We're not selling you anything. Basically, what you're paying is for our time to come out here and speak to you.
Yeah, just cover it so it don't cost us.
So it don't cost us. Yeah, so it don't cost us.
We can't pay you to give it to you.
Yeah. And honestly, that's basically what we've been doing for the last year and a half in the group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've helped, like I said, over 600 brothers now that I know personally who have reached out to me. You know what I mean? And who to actually get at least 5 figures. But when it comes down to us doing this on a mass level, people won't have to see us. They're gonna have to feel us. They're gonna have to actually be in that entire experience with us in the room. And I actually teach. You know what I mean? And we're not even just gonna hit them on the financial part. We're gonna hit them on the life skills part. Everything. You know what I mean? Because one of the main tools when it comes to being an investor is changing your mindset. Because just think about it. We all know people who go broke for no reason. Let's just go ahead and put it out there. You go broke for no reason. We all know people who you can give $1 million to tomorrow, and you know for a fact in 6 months they're gonna be broke.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's honestly the average person. A lot of people are like, well, I got an auntie like that. Nah, that's you. Yeah. Let's be real. I give you $1 million tomorrow. You're gonna be in the Cadillac dealership the next day. You're gonna be in the Gucci store the next day. You're gonna be at the Finley store the next day. You have to sit yourself, like I said, you have to sit yourself down and actually have a conversation and say, okay, how can I take this $1 million and make $10 million?
Right.
How can I flip this $100,000 from the $1 million? You might blow 900,000 of it. But how can I take this $100,000 and actually make $4 or $5 million more dollars?
Yeah, man. You hear about the story, the parable of the lottery winner. You know, how many lottery runners and NFL players, NBA players make $100 million and end up broke by 35.
Look at my favorite b-ball player of all time outside of Shaq, Allen Iverson.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for his agent, let's be honest, by the time he turned 55, he get out 30 million.
Yeah.
But he's been broke for the last 15 years.
Yeah. And someone set up a deal and said, hey man, we care more about your future than your now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's think about it. I actually I used to one of the drivers I used to know, I used to talk to him all the time. He used to drive with me with my company or whatever. He used to actually take Iverson's mom to the casino. Mm-hmm. He was her chauffeur. And he told me stories about how Iverson was out there on I think that's Interstate 76 out there in Philly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Him and his boys would buy 2 Bentleys and literally drive on the interstate, crashing into each other.
Damn.
Doing dumb stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Being stupid with your bread versus actually sitting yourself down and actually saying, okay, cool, which a lot of these new NBA players are actually doing right now. They're sitting themselves down and actually putting their money in the cryptocurrency. You see, Tom Brady is heavy in the cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Probably the richest NFL player in the league right now. And he's still investing his money. You get what I'm saying? So what?
No, go ahead.
Now, you have to be more educated with your money. And it comes with the financial literacy. It comes with you actually sitting down and actually learning these skills. You know what I mean? Once you actually learn how to invest into the crypto space, once you actually learn how to look at a chart, once you actually learn the value of actually buying the stocks and actually doing the dollar cost average investing model, you would then gain that financial literacy. You would then say, okay, cool. I'm not going to be foolish with this $5. This $5 can actually make me $20.
Right.
You look at everything as an investment. Like right now, I buy shoes. I'm a sneakerhead.
Yeah.
I buy shoes all the time. I probably buy a pair of shoes this weekend. But the shoes I actually buy on a weekly or monthly basis, I'm actually sitting them in my closet and I'm seeing how they can gain value over time. Like right now, I got a pair of Space Jam 11s.
Yeah.
You can go right now on StockX and see how much Space Jam 11s cost. I bought them for retail. Retail is $220. You can go to StockX right now and see how much Space Jam 11s cost.
Space Jam 11. Hey, Gabe said it. That's why Albertson's wife hanging around. She want that money. She gonna get that. She gonna get half that bread.
Oh yeah, probably gonna dip after that, but it is what it is.
Space Jam 11, size 13 is $500. No, that's the Jordan Retro. So I grabbed the wrong one. Hold on a second. $430. I don't know if I'm hitting it right, but it's
around $500. About
around $500. Yeah.
So that means off of a $220 investment, right now I have sitting in my closet right now. I've already doubled my funds for it. I can sell those for a profit. You know what I mean? I got a bunch of Jordan 1s I can sell for a profit. I had the newspaper edition red and black Jordan 1s with the newspaper print on them that only cost me $120, but they're worth $1,000 right now. So
let me ask you, what's your favorite Jordan?
My favorite Jordan of all time are the North Carolina Blue 11s.
Okay. What do you think mine is? What do you think my favorite Jordan is? I lost you. What do you think my favorite Jordan is?
I said you
I got a formula. I got a formula. What do you think it is?
Let's go. I'll go with the original, the ones.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you the formula. That's not it, but I'm gonna tell you the formula. The formula is from your junior year in high school to 2 years after graduation. If he warm and you're in that age group, that's normally your favorite. My favorite are the Jordan 3s. Came out in 87. I got out of high school in 86. I got the Jordan 1s for $75 when I was in school. They came out when I was in the 10th grade. But the Jordan 3s, man, I absolutely love those still.
This thing, if you would have kept those Jordan 1s that you got when you were in high school in 87, man. The original ones, right? The original. I'm talking about top, like they probably worth around $30,000. Right?
Probably.
9 times out of 10.
Yeah, and man, you just didn't know. We didn't know that's what it was going to become. The good news about crypto is we know what it is.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just imagine if we'd have known. I got a pair of Jordan 3s right now that I'm trying to get repaired because when I went to look at what they cost, and I don't like the bubblegum ones. I like the ones that came out in '87. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, man. It's a big money maker in anything you actually want to do, bro. To be honest, like for instance, I have like I said accumulated a great amount of wealth where me and my wife don't have to work anymore in a day of my life, to be honest.
Yeah.
But when the pandemic first hit, just to show you just how much of a hustler mindset I have, my first thought was I need to go buy as much alcohol as possible. Gabe's on the line right now. I need to go buy as much hand sanitizer as possible. I hit Gabe up. I said, Gabe, you might want to go buy as much alcohol as possible, as much hand sanitizer as possible, as much Lysol as possible. Now, this is not ethical, but it was legal.
Yeah.
Alcohol was going, I'm talking about the regular dollar bottle alcohol, was going for $35 a bottle on eBay. And people were buying it like crazy. I didn't sell mine for $35 a bottle. I cut that price in half and only sold mine for $17.
Yeah.
But I made probably 13, 14 grand off of selling bottles of alcohol.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I see you have to see the opportunity in everything you do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You have to see that opportunity. I don't wear a lot of my shoes. I rather wear flip flops. I rather wear some regular J's. Yeah. Not the retros, but some regular J's versus wearing. And I probably have 50 pair of J's in my closet.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because I know the value of my shoes. I'm not going to put those on my feet every day because I know eventually, okay, something might happen to where I lose my wealth. I lose what I built, and I might have to sell these shoes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? My wife has a closet full of red bottoms. She loves Christian Louboutin. She loves Gucci shoes. She loves all that stuff. Her shoes come with value as well. If something was to happen, I can sell her shoes. I can sell her purse. You got to have everything around you to be an asset. I'm big into precious metals. I have probably a few 100 pounds of silver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have gold. I have gold.
I just lost you. I just lost you a little bit. You went all the way down. Oh shit! Yeah, we good back now.
All right, cool. Yeah. I said I also invest in the precious metals. I invest in the gold bullion. I invest in the gold coins.
Yeah.
I invest into silver. I mean silver coins. You know what I mean? Even copper. Anything of value that if something was to happen to everything we have in our accounts, in my crypto accounts, in my portfolio, I can actually go and actually say, okay, I have this stuff I can sell to gain more wealth.
Gotcha.
You have to be a person who's a hoarder with assets. You gotta hoard those assets. You know what I mean? Be a hoarder with assets.
Love it. Well, look, man, I ain't gonna hold you much longer. We got more work to do this afternoon. We just wanted to jump on and talk a little bit about mindset. We're producing more videos for the course. Again, we're on tour. The course is launching this month. The tour is launching this month, man. BMMO investors, BMMO husbands, man, we're looking forward to your success. And man, and with no agenda, just want to feel good about helping the community and closing the wealth gap. Anything you want to add for the good of the order? Bishop Crypto Crib.
Hey man, we here, brothers. We here, man. We are here for you. So at the end of the day, if you don't come out to these events, if you don't support these events, if you don't come out here and actually put the work in yourself, it's your own fault. Cryptocurrency is here to stay. You're getting in at the ground level, so it's imperative that you actually get into this game now and not wait until everybody else gets in. Because once everybody else gets in and that mass adoption happens, it's going to be too late for you. Bitcoin will eventually be $1 million a coin. You want to get it right now while it's 54,000.
Cool. And on that thought,